Love and light, beautiful people. And today's topic will be about tarot. And so I'm going to go back before getting into tarot. I want to go back in where tarot is a form of divination. And divination is to foresee, to foretell, to predict, to prophesize, related to, or to be inspired by a god or goddess, is the attempt to gain insight into a question or a situation by way of an occultic standardized process or ritual. Used in various forms throughout civilization, diviners ascertain their interpretations of how a current should proceed by reading signs, events, or omens, or through alleged contact with a supernatural agency. Divination can be seen as a systematic method with which to organize what appear to be disjointed, random facets of existence such that they provide insight into a problem at hand. As in African traditional medicine, divination has a more formal or ritualistic element and often contains a more social character. So to speak a little bit about divination, I'm going to go back to what divination, so different cultures, different civilizations use different methods for divination. So some use the tarot cards, which came later on. I also even think that the drawings that are on the walls of the pyramids are even a form of divination or symbols and signs or a story. And so divination can be many ways. As I said before, the tarot is one that was long after, but in other traditions, long before tarot came, they used divination with crawley shells, with pebbles, with with feathers, with rocks, with all types of like little tools that you can find in Mother Nature, surprisingly. So tarot isn't the first form of divination, it just came later on. So tarot is broken into two parts, which is the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. So today is going to be part one of the Major Arcana. And so the Major Arcana is not divided into suits like regular playing cards, but are allegorical symbols of the journey of the Fool, a journey we all take in our lives, a symbolic journey of understanding. Almost every aspect of your life can be interpreted within the Fool's journey. The Major Arcana represents the life lessons, karmic influences, and the big archetypical themes that are influencing your life and your soul's journey to enlightenment. The Major Arcana has more deep and complex meanings that are very beautiful. The Arcana represents the structure of human consciousness and hold the keys of life lessons passed down through the ages. Also known as the Trump cards, they include 21 numbered cards and one unnumbered card, which is the Fool, which it begins with 0. The Fool is the main character that makes his journey through life, learning lessons and facing challenges and eventually reaching the completion of his journey. And have some more. When you mostly see the Major Arcana in your reading, it is telling you to reflect on the life lessons and themes that are currently being explained at this time. If you mostly have only Major Arcana, you are experiencing life-changing events that will have long-term effects. There are important lessons that you must pay attention to in order to progress further in your spiritual and personal quest. And so just a reminder about the Major Arcana and about it starts off as the Fool. And you know that sometimes we call people fools in life, but actually the fool in the major arcana represents, let's say you just getting out of high school, and this is your friend, this is your fresh beginning. You are now a young adult getting ready to pretty much start your entire life. Even though I kind of feel like we don't know what we want to be or do, or who we even are when we get out of high school. We don't know who the hell we are. We're still babies at that time. Before I go into detail about the Major Arcana actual tarot cards, I'm going to tell you the story of the Major Arcana. Beginning with the Fool, number 0. So the Fool is on a journey. He is not sure what he is going to do or how he's going to do it, but what he lacks is in inexperience. He makes up for in enthusiasm. He is in fact too inexperienced to be afraid, as he doesn't even know what there is to be afraid of. So he fearlessly moves forward with a big bag of beginner's luck on his shoulders. The Fool knows how the world works on paper, but is temporarily clueless about the multi-dimensional reality he is stepping into. He is protected by the universe until he gets more street smarts. He gains the tools and skills he needs for his journey and becomes quick-witted and practical. The other cards connected to the Fool in your tarot layout will tell you in what area you are gaining these valuable lessons, i.e. Pentacles are work, Cups are relationships, Wands are enterprises, and Swords are your intellect and ideas. The Fool cannot remain the Fool for long. He has now got skills and knowledge he can move forward with. So the Fool, he has become the magician, which is number 1. Has everything he needs to create. He dreams, especially when it comes to selling himself. He is the perfect salesman, and he has the confidence to back up his dreams. Anything you need, he is sure he can deliver. Energetically, he feels quite endless, and his ideals and manifestations are many. He has the gift of the gab and loves his reality here on planet Earth. He is connected to the divine and feels quite loved and cherished. What might look like luck is the magician's ability to channel information and to listen to his intuition. This way he is at the right place at the right time. The world is as his playground, and he starts feeling like he needs new challenges. He wants to be able to use the spiritual laws to bend the laws of physics. To do that, he changes inwards and become the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about making the impossible become possible. To do that, she must remain in control over her own emotions. There is a deep pool of wisdom inside of her, collected over an endless amount of time, coming and going on planet Earth. She is so mysterious because the material world doesn't interest her much. She has a secret world which she doesn't share with anyone. The High Priestess has psychic powers and sometimes magical abilities. She is different from the magician in that the magician uses the physical world to create, while the High Priestess is a metaphysician. Her life has at times been highly dramatic. She uses her mind to manifest and connect it to her subconscious. People are often afraid of her. She sometimes represents the other woman in a man's life. People have little sympathy for the High Priestess because she never shows them her vulnerability. But she too must be a part of this world, and she must materialize her spirituality into something that is beneficial on this plane of existence. She must learn to form relationships. To do this, she must become the Empress. Uses her feminine power to create and manifest. She is nurturing and loving, and as a result, people love to be in her company. She makes everyone feel at ease and at home, and she loves making her surroundings look beautiful. The Empress is often very sensual, and she is highly fertile. She radiates love and groundness, and is like a magnet. It is very hard to resist the Empress charm, and in her company you find yourself thoroughly enjoying yourself. The Empress loves plants, animals, and people. And her abundance life begins to become more and more complicated. She's got the promotion, and at the same time, she has children that need her, friends that want to be with her, and a husband who adores her. There is no time anymore for much else, and she must learn to multitask and become in control of everything that is going on. To do this, she becomes the emperor. The emperor uses masculine power and a left brain approach to create order out of chaos and to be in control. The emperor has a lot of responsibilities, and often many people depend on him. Because of this, the emperor often represents a government-based organization or the head of the organization. The emperor has mastered the use of logic and reason and plans well before executing new projects and ideas. The emperor has strong values and beliefs that serves him and keeping him the head of his empire. When he decides to explore his spiritual side, he chooses the well-traveled path of religion, where he can feel comfortable with its structured doctrines. Since the emperor never does anything halfway, he wants to learn as much as he can about the spiritual path he has chosen to follow, and he becomes the Hierophant. The Hierophant assists the world by guiding it spiritually through a set of rules and doctrines. He performs ceremonies and blesses the world through a set belief system. His earthly life is now guided by what his religious or spiritual path has taught him. In many ways, this makes life so much easier, and the more he understands spiritual laws, the more secure does he feel in the path he has chosen. So much, in fact, that he is ready for a holy relationship with his equal on this planet. This relationship built on common values and beliefs and is protected by heaven. When he explores his holy relationship, he becomes the lovers. The lovers are together and whole. They feel complete in each other's company, and they know they have come together for a reason. Together they have to make a choice. God has given them everything that they could ever wish for, namely true love. They can either lock themselves away or expand out and spread the love to the world. Within their holy union, they realize they have the strength to make a big leap forward. Together, they are strong enough to use their willpower in a way that will bring them success. They believe enough in each other to do so. They become the chariot. The chariot knows that hard work will get them there and is determined to reach its goals. The key is to stay in control, especially emotionally. It is a mind over matter that will bring success. The chariot won't let you see them sweat. He keeps his facade cool. At times, he is faking it to make it. He knows if he appears cool, calm, and collected in the midst of situations, he will be seen as a leader, which will assist him to advance to his next level. The chariot is going places, and playing small is no longer an option. The strength of the chariot, whether it is fake or real, gives results. Inner strength is gradually built, and the chariot realizes he is changing. The horses that pulled him along seemed wild and primitive, but he tamed them by being persistent. Overconfidence is no longer outer confidence is no longer enough. He wants to have the real deal. He must become strength itself. Strength has real confidence. She stands next to the lion but has no face because she has mastered her own primitive emotions and urges. Her surroundings stay calm in her presence, even the lion. With her newfound strength, she no longer wants to only do the things that will bring her success and fame. What she wants is to stay deeply connected to herself and to live her bliss and her passions. By doing this, she ensures that she stays in her own power and nothing can or will pull her out of it. She can stay this way as long as she wants to. She starts enjoying her own company so much she spends more and more time alone. When she looks around her, all the drama and excitement that she entered into strength with is gone. She finds herself alone, but far by lonely. She has become the hermit. The hermit wanders alone and accompanied only by his lantern that shows the way. He is so full of light within that he can enter into the darkness of places. He lights up the whole universe and feels no fear. People come to him for advice and he guides them. People come to him to learn and he teaches them. People come to him to be more like him and shows them. And he shows them, but he never becomes part of them. While he is guiding and teaching, he is guiding himself. He has become his own teacher. The universe embraces him as he is living his truth so honestly, unattached to the outcome. He moves to the next part of his journey and he becomes the wheel of fortune. He is now living in his destiny and he is grace. The universe is setting him up with very specific people and situations. This seems to be coming out of nowhere as Wheel of Fortune never plans for anything to happen, and yet all these wonderful people and opportunities keep coming as the wheel keeps spinning. There is no need to try and control events. They are part of a bigger plan. As the wheel keeps turning, life moves forward and in wondrous ways. He learns that nothing is accidental and everything happens for a reason. The reason behind why things are the way they are intrigues him. Not all he sees he can accept. He has mastered inner peace and inner strength so far, but around him he sees suffering and injustice. Where he has been in the wrong, he takes responsibility, and where he can be of use, he assists. He becomes justice. Justice stands tall with her sword in one hand and her scale in the other. She must be non-emotional and objective. If she lets her emotions get the better of her, she will not be able to serve. At this point, she has such a strong urge to serve the world. Everything she has learned so far has given her great clarity. Everything has come together beautifully, and she knows how to live her life. She will do what she came here to do. Many people fear her now, but she will not back down. Right is right and wrong is wrong. With her clarity, only those that really needs it will ask her for help. People listen to her. She has no need to go anywhere. Instead, she uses her clarity to explore her own mind to see things in a new perspective. Her mind lights up as she explores her thoughts and beliefs. She can no longer keep her paramedic. She can now see the reason behind why things are the way they are. Where she used to see suffering and injustice, she sees unity and growth. Her outlook on life has been turned completely upside down as she transforms into the hangman. The hangman stays in his suspended position, exploring his beliefs and paramedics, looking out life form from a different perspective. There is no need to do anything. There is no need to go anywhere, and it might seem that life is on hold. But the hangman is constantly learning by absorbing the world this way. He learns that everyone's point of view has value, and he can see where everyone seems to be slipping away, as he can no longer solve the world the same way he used to. There is no way he can go back and do the things he used to do, say, and think. He is changing so much that he no longer recognizes himself. His whole life has become a stranger to him. He has become death itself. Death came as no surprise. Things could simply not remain the same with the internal changes that happen. With his horse, he rides into the unknown, but there is no fear in his heart because he has nothing to lose. At this point in his journey, less is more, and he travels lightly. The only thing he takes with him is the love he has in his heart. There is light at the end of the tunnel as he arrives from the rally of transformation. Looking back, he wonders how he could live the way he used to. His new life is so different. He has created heaven on earth. He has become temperance. Temperance is deeply connected to her own emotions. She remains grounded by nature. She is connected to both the divine and humanity. Balance is restored and life is truly beautiful. Everything she ever wanted, she has created for herself. Humble and validity, optimistic about the future, she sinks into a deep meditative state even while doing ordinary tasks. The ordinary turns extraordinary, and she uses the opposites that exist around her to create something even stronger and more sustainable. Living her bliss, she grows more and more comfortable in her own skin. She begins to see beauty everywhere and does not recognize the snake that lives in her garden or paradise as she goes from being the angel of temperance to the devil. Heaven is for everyone, right? Wrong. Her garden's trees are full of branches and vines, and the beauty of the place is hardly recognizable anymore. But he cannot see it because he is now obsessed with material goods, luxury, ideals, and pleasure. The snake must leave her garden. The vines and trees must be pruned. The law of truth will reveal a secret that will expose the people and situations that have deceived you. This comes to a complete shock to the devil, who is only focused on succeeding. What used to be heaven on earth turns into a hellish place where everything seems to be falling apart. The devil creates a cascading of events and turns into the tower. This is highly emotional time. People he used to count on are not what they seem. Careers that seemed so promising are ending. Homes that felt so safe are burning down. Places that were familiar are no longer to be found. In the midst of chaos and conflict, the tower abandons the final friendship, job, relationship, situations, place, and home that were not what they seemed. Nothing can happen to it anymore. The garden is almost empty. The only thing remaining is what has true value and cannot be taken away. The tower had to be strong to avoid collapsing on itself. It discovered talents that were hidden away. It turned its true nature, and in doing so, it recognized itself. With everything gone, it can see no clearly what was missing all along. What was missing was grace, and it is grace that shines upon it when everything else seems lost and gone. The tower becomes the star. The star, after turbulent times, everything calms down and life presents itself with a whole new lot of possibilities. When she looks around, she sees the people who stuck by her, and when everyone else thought it was all too hard, she has a whole new appreciation for her life and for those who are in it. And she is a whole lot more discerning on who she does let in her life. Most importantly, she knows who she is and her capabilities. Now she has become the star. She wants to shine. Her soul is aligned with her life purpose, and she moves forward into her meaningful existence. She wants to shine brighter every day. In her brightness, she attracts a lot of people and situations into her life. But is she ready to complicate things? Now that everything is looking so good for her, suspicion thoughts enter her mind, and she begins feeling she cannot trust those around her. Hidden agendas and secrets are manifesting as she remains a bright light, but the light is changing as she goes from being the star to the moon. The only way she can find her way is to use her psychic abilities and creativity. Haunted by vivid dreams both during awake and sleep time, she loses touch with reality, what is actually going on. Her vulnerability makes her irresistible to certain people. Emotionally, she is unstable, going from extreme joy to sadness and melancholy. Her roller coaster journey is taking a toll on her. She needs balance. She needs to make a decision between the light and the dark, sanity or insanity. Who can she trust? What can she believe in? In a quest to seek truth, she enters into a time of transparency. She can only trust the world if she trusts herself first, and that she must take full responsibility for her life. She lets go of old grudges and resentments. By doing this, she becomes the sun. She becomes a child again, happy and uncorrupted. Life is saying yes to her, and she has learned what real success feels like. Success is love, and she has plenty of it. Life is warm and sunny, and her success transforms and expands her, and she can never go back to live her illusion. Worthy and powerful, no one can stop her. There is no need for suffering. Lessons will be learned with joy and peace. With her power comes responsibility, and she transforms into judgment. Judgment, an assertive angelic force of nature that people respect. She knows who she is and what she wants to achieve. But this angel is different from the angel of temperance. Her judge of character is spot on, and she sometimes brings out the worst in people. She gives everyone a chance, but she quickly works out people's true nature. Unable to be fooled and manipulated, she carries on with her purpose. People are sometimes afraid of her, or at least intimidated by her integrity. Many things come to an end, but more do to her choosing, rather than unexpected turns of events. Even when things seem out of control, she feels in control because she is aware of her manifesting powers. God has given her great abilities, and by using them wisely, she has the world at her feet. In fact, she becomes the world. Everything is equal, and she knows she belongs to earth as much as she belongs to heaven. She has completed a cycle and is reaping the rewards. Success can come in many forms, and with the world, it often comes in form of confidence, real confidence. The world knows it is a tiny place of the universe, and at the same time a gigantic organism to the beings that live on her. She is the world to someone special, and they are the world to her. She is part of the whole, and there is so much to experience. Now, was that not the most beautiful story of your life journey? And it pretty much explains your life journey and the different energies that we move out, in and out of. And I even go through these different energies throughout the day. As I was reading this, I'm like, wow, I was that energy today, or I was accessing that energy today. But that is a beautiful story. And now it is time to go into the individual cards of the Major Tarot. So we're gonna do the Fool. And in a tarot reading, when the Fool shows up, the timing is when you least expect it, and the Fool is ruled by air and the planet Uranus. The Fool's upright meaning, so the tarot, sometimes they come in a reverse position, upside down, and so some tarot readers don't read reverse meanings, but I will say the reverse meanings if you do read the reverse meanings. The upright meaning is the new beginnings, a new path, a new belief system, faith, not knowing what to expect, making it up as you go, that fake it until you make it, heading into the unknown, letting go of worry and fear, feeling happy, joyful, carefree, being in the right place, higher than usual intuition. The reverse side is stagnation, losing faith, and feeling fearful. So the Fool depicts a youthful person walking joyfully into the world. He is taking his first step, and he is exuberant, joyful, and excited. He comes with nothing except a small sack, carrying nothing for the possible dangers that lie in his path. Indeed, he is soon to encounter the first of these possible dangers, for if he takes just a step more, he will topple off of the cliff that he is leaning over. But he doesn't seem to concern himself with that. And if he does not become more aware of his surroundings soon, he may never see all the adventures that he dreams of encountering. So the card is numbered 0, which is considered to be a number of infinite potential. Consider him a blank slate, for the Fool has yet to develop a clear personality. He is the symbol of innocence. His journey to come will shape his character, yet to see the Fool generally means a beginning of a new journey, where you will be fulfilled with optimism. And so, like I said, the Fool to me represents a young man or a young woman that's just coming out of high school. You know, when you graduate from high school, it's like you have a fresh start. Now, some people may not live in their parents' house. It's probably time to move out of your parents' house. It might be time to go to college and see what you want to do during your life. But let's be honest, at that age, you don't know what the hell you want. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you really, really want to become. You don't know those things, because this is like a brand new journey where you have a lot of freedom, and there's so many infinite possibilities for you to go through ups and downs, so that you can really learn yourself and know what it is that you was put into this world to put back out into the world, if that makes sense. So to me, that is the representation of the Fool in your life, at the type of energy that the Fool has. The next is the Magician. So in the tarot reading, the Magician is no timing indicated, but the energy moves quickly along the trajectory, and the Magician is ruled by the planet Mercury. So the upright meaning of the Magician is realizing your potential, believing in yourself, using your talents, being in charge of your own destiny, being able to sell yourself, sell your ideals and a product, using old skills in a new field, reinventing yourself. The reverse meaning is miscommunication, a fraud, lack of self-belief. So the Magician to me is about that college time where you're almost done with college, or you're getting ready to enter your career, and maybe in high school you have done a little bit of what you're entering into, and you're bringing your old skills from your childish days into your adult of what you learned. So the Magician has a little bit more control, and is a little bit more in charge of your destiny. Magician make things happen. You're a magician. So the central figure depicts someone with one hand pointing to the sky, while the other hand points to the ground, as if to say, as above, so below. This is a rather complicated phrase, but its summarization is that earth reflects heaven. The outer world reflects within. Your inner world, how you feel on the inside, reflects your outside. People who always, well, that's not true. I'm not even going to say people who have a bad attitude are ugly, because there's some beautiful people out there who have messed up ugly attitudes, and you're just ugly. And that's an example of the world within and the world without. You have an ugly attitude, no matter how you look. You can be fine as wine, baby got back, everything. But you have a fucked up attitude, you're going to be ugly. I don't care how you look. Back to the Magician. The macrocosm earth reflects. The macrocosm reflects the macrocosm. Earth reflects good. It can also be interpreted here that the Magician symbolizes the ability to act as a go-between between the world above and the contemporary human world. On his table, the Magician also wields all the suits of the tarot. This symbolizes the four elements being connected by this Magician. The four elements being earth, water, air, and fire. The infinity sign on his head indicates the infinite possibilities of creation with the wheel. When you get the Magician in your reading, it might mean that it's time to tap into your full potential without hesitation. It might be a new job, a new business venture, a new love, or something else. It shows that the time to take action is right now. And any signs of holding back would mean missing the opportunity of becoming the best version of yourself. Certain choices will have to be made, and these can bring great changes to come. Harness some of the Magician's power to make the world that you desire most. And some people are in and out of the Magician on a daily basis. The Magician can have anything they desire because they already possess the elements of the earth. So the next one is the High Priestess. And in tarot, when pulling the High Priestess, the timing for this is hidden or secret. The High Priestess is ruled by the moon, and the upright position meaning of the High Priestess is a woman with psychic powers, a woman in your life influencing you, making the impossible become possible. Your inner life, making plans that are right for you rather than what suits other people, having a hidden talent, knowing the answers and right things to do. The reverse meaning is lack of insight, foolishness, oversensitive, and fragile psyche. So the meaning of the tarot, when it comes up in your reading, you're most likely encountered the High Priestess before, but in some other form she can be seen in the archetypes of Artemis, Isis, and many more women. When you encounter her, you will see her sitting on a cubic stone between the two pillars at Solomon's temple. Jachin and Boaz. Jachin, right, is generally referred to as S's pillar of establishment, and Boaz, left, is the pillar of strength. The pillars also depict the duality, nature, masculine and feminine, good and evil, and negative and positive. And they all mean the same thing. It's just a sense of perspective. Some look at masculine as being negative and the feminine being positive. When I don't even like the words negative or positive, just because I may view something as being negative while someone else may view it as being positive. Like I said, it's all from a level of perspective. So back to the High Priestess. The High Priestess location between the two suggests that it is her responsibility to serve as a mediator between the depths of the reality. She is the third pillar, the path between. She believes that both pillars are equal and there is knowledge to be learned in both worlds. You will also notice that she wears the crown of Isis, which can mean that she is a believer of magic. The High Priestess wearing of the solar cross denotes that she is connected to the season of the earth and the earth itself. The crescent moon at her feet is seen also in many depictions of the Virgin Mary, and means that she has a complete grasp over her emotion as she pomegranates before to the ambition of the priest. The card itself shows a right time scene, meaning that the world in which she protects and guards is one that may at first seem frightening, but has the potential to lead us into the growth of the self. When she appears in a reading, she is calling to go to listen to her message and follow her into her own depths. There is searching within yourself to be done for the answers that you seek. The answers to the questions you have are within, not without. The answers you always need, whatever answer, no matter if it's a question that you have that you probably even think that there is nobody that's in your family that's alive that can answer. The answer is already inside of you. That's how I found out my time of birth. I remember I was reading my mom's diary, and she had a passage in there that was specifically for me, and my birthday was that day that she wrote that journal entry. And she said that on this day at that time, which was 10/19, I was born. And so I remember reading that, but as I got older, I lost the diary, and so I had no way to find out what time I was born. I mean, we can go get our birth certificates, but I didn't feel like doing all that. And so I remember, like, it just came from nowhere. Like, I'm so confident that it has to be confident, and it has to be a sense of knowingness. Like, I reached down and literally pulled my birth time from within. I didn't have to go get any copies of anything. I literally went within and dug up the answer. And that's for any situation that you have, any advice that you have. I think that's a form of divinity, pulling what you need from within. The next one is the Empress. In a reading, the Empress, when the Empress is pulled, the timing is likely to depend on at least one other person, and the Empress is ruled by the planet Venus. The Empress upright meaning is pregnancy and giving birth, being a mother, creativity and nurturing in the home, intelligence and leadership, being beautiful and sensual, being abundant and healthy, a good marriage and happiness. Neglect, poor health, abandonment are the reverse meanings. And so the Empress depicts a woman sitting on her throne from the abundant nature that surrounds her. We can assume that this woman represents the earth, mother archetype, a goddess of fertility. Her world is ruled by Venus, which means that there is complete love, harmony, fertility, and luxury. By the grace of this goddess, the woman herself has blonde hair crowned with stars, signaling her divine connection with the mystical realm. She is dressed in a pomegranate pattern robe that represents fertility, and she is seated on cushions embroidered with a Venus sign. She is surrounded by an enchanting green forest with a river streaming through it. The Empress brings abundance and blessings in the readings of those she meets. Next, we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is ruled by Aries. The upright position of the Aries is creating order out of chaos, leadership and authority, making your own rules and having others obeying them, being your own boss, structure, logic and reason, energy, force and drive, being fearless. The reverse meaning is chaos, poor leadership, and lack of energy. So the Emperor is a stoic ruler figure, can be seen on his throne, which is adorned with the heads of 4 rams representing his astrological sign Aries. In one hand he comes a scepter representing his reign and his right to rule, and in the other an orb, a symbol of the kingdom that he watches over. The long board of the Emperor represents his vast experience. Over time, he has learned much about what it takes to rule, to establish power, authority, and complete order for the benefit of his people. Behind him, the barren mountain shows his determination, his ambition for greater heights, and his leadership capability. Contrast this with his complement, the Empress, whose flowing fields are filled with nurturing kindness. The Emperor instead rules with grit, strength, and force. When you see him in your reading, a possible interpretation is that you could be put in charge of something important. It could be a position at work or in any kind of organization or institution that desperately needs order and a clear, decisive mind. You may be called to act in the place of the Emperor, using his wisdom to bring clarity to the project. And to me, the Emperor represents the father of the house, the man of the house, the man that goes to work, or the man who provides for the family, who provides the who probably does the discipline with the children, or who probably protects. It reminds me of an older man. And next we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is ruled by the planet Taurus. The Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. So the upright position is intuition, tradition, originality, creativity, problems with authority, spiritual guidance, a teacher, being in control over your emotions, asking the big questions about life and death, being a role model, having faith. And the reverse meanings is corruption and breaking the rules. So this card, the Hierophant card, depicts a religion, a religious figure that sits in a rather formal environment characters for a church. He is wearing 3 elaborate vestments which are designated to represent the 3 different worlds. His right hand is properly raised in the act of benedict ion, a scene of blessing. It's the same hand that the magician has raised in his other hand. He comes a triple cross, which is associated traditionally with the Pope, and each of the horizontal bars in the cross are thought to represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Beneath him, the 2 acolytes are seated, representing the transfer of sacred knowledge within institutions. Through these acolytes, the card also comes to represent following the path to knowledge and education. This card is also known as the High Priest in certain decks, as well as the Pope. He is acting as the masculine counterpart of another card, which is known as the High Priestess. It is led by Taurus, like I said before, and the Hierophant card suggests that it is better for you to follow social structures which are established and have their own traditions. You might be involved in certain ceremonies, rituals, or other religious trappings. For instance, when it comes to tarot readings, this particular card is most commonly representative of institutions as well as their core values. This is a sign that shows that you need to conform to the already extinctions of set of rules and situations which are fixed. Next, we have the Lovers, and the Lovers is ruled by Gemini. The upright meaning is love, union, and marriage, being with your soulmate, feeling passionate about something or someone, physical attraction, communication with like-minded people, doing things that make you feel whole, intimacy, enlightened about decision. The reverse meaning is separation, disconnection, unable to make a decision, making a poor decision. So the Lover's card, the man and the woman in the image are being protected and blessed by an angel above. The couple seems secure and happy in their home, which appears to be the Garden of Eden. The first tree with the snake behind the woman is a reference to that story, which tells of humanity's fall into temptation and into the realm of flesh and sensuality. The angel depicted here is Raphael. The angel of air, who is of the same element of the zodiac sign that governs this card, Gemini. Air is associated with mental activity and communication, in particular, which is the foundation for healthy relationships. His blessing seems to give this card a sense of balance and harmony, the symbolization of union in a grand and cosmic sense between 2 opposing forces. Another meaning behind the Lover's card is the concept of choice, a choice between things that are opposing and mutually exclusive. This could be a dilemma that you need to think about, especially, and make the best decision for your situation. A more personal Lover's meaning that can apply to individuals is the development of your own personal belief systems, regardless of what are the societal norms. We see this as a development from the Hierophant, who made decrees and pass on his knowledge through a standardized system. This is one of the times when you figure out what you are going to stand for and what your philosophy in life will truly be. You must start making up your mind about what you find important and unimportant in your life. You should be as true to yourself as you can be, so you will be genuine and authentic to the people who are around you. And most people really love seeing this card pop up, especially in their love readings. They love seeing the Lover's card because that means that either you have love for someone, or someone has love for you, or there's an upcoming marriage. And we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is ruled by Cancer. The upright position meaning of the Chariot is victory and success, being a hero, using your willpower to accomplish your goals, being assertive, being in control, getting your way, looking out for your own interests, traveling, your vehicle. So the reverse meanings is lack of direction, delay, and self-doubt. So the Chariot card depicts a figure sitting inside a vehicle that is being driven by two black and white sphinxes. The whole card has a bit of a celestial influence. The figure sits underneath a blue canopy adorned by white stars. On his shoulders he comes the sign of the crescent moon, representing the spiritual influence under which he is guided. On his head sits a crown, meaning that he is enlightened and that his will is pure. On his chest is a square, denoting the element of earth, of the material world, which grounds him in his actions. The Sphinx are colored in black and white, a symbol of opposing forces that the Chariot must learn to control. Here they are calm, but they frequently get into scuffles as they seem to want to move in different directions. His task is to guide these sphinxes towards a destination one that is marked by the cosmic forces that it represents. The Chariot is linked to the Cancer zodiac sign. In the Chariot's quest for his goal, he may display some behavior that he has never seen within himself before. Competition and a desire to succeed has perhaps brought out a more aggressive part of his personality. Aggression is a natural part of human nature, and the Chariot reminds you that it can also be used to help you take charge of your situation, but also must be vain, and so that it does not hinder your way forward, which makes sense. And me explaining as into being able to move in and out of situations. And like I've said before, that every situation doesn't deserve for you to be positive, and every situation don't deserve for you to be negative. And so this card pretty much is saying that don't get in your own way. Don't let situations have you make the wrong decision based off emotions. Sometimes people think that, you should base some decisions off emotions. Like when you're in a relationship, emotions play a role in whether you want to be in a relationship or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes not. You can love a person, that don't mean that you have to be with them. And you can also love a person so much that that's the person that you really want to be with for the rest of your life. So, to each its own. And we have the Strength card. And the Strength, of course, is ruled by Leo. The Strength upright position is patience through caring, a spiritual nature, inner strength, passion and love, pride and determination, self-control, courage, and compassion. The reverse meaning is anger, jealousy, and fear. The Strength card, you will see a woman who calmly holds the jaws of a fully grown lion. Despite the fact that the lion looks menacing and strong, the woman seems to have dominion over it. What is captivating is how gracefully she controls the lion. She is calm and collected, which is representative for being in control and discipline, especially in times of great adversities. The fact that she is also holding the jaws of a lion also shows that she has courage. Her control of the lion without being too rough shows love and compassion. The blue background over the mountains shows stability and the kind of calmness that comes with being stable. The lion is a symbol of courage, passion, and desire, which are very much part of the human feelings. Are not put in check can lead to to our eventual destruction. And like before, sometimes emotions can take on and we make decisions which really leads to our destruction. So that's why it's very important to be mindful of how your emotions, and just know that things are temporary and nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. So why you so mad at something and you thinking you're gonna be mad forever, and then you look around, now you laughing again. Never thought you would laugh again because this one thing made you so upset and it pissed you off so mad that you thought it was the end of the world. And it really wasn't. It's just things happen. There is always ups and downs, and it's never about what happens to you. It's about how you handle that shit. Next, we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is ruled by Virgo. And you know, that is my tropical zodiac. The sidereal zodiac, I am a Leo all the way, and that is the truth. So so the upright meaning of the Hermit is a wise teacher, having wisdom beyond your years. That is so me. Seeking solitude, lightening the way for others, being able to communicate with animals. That is crazy. You know, these cards actually represents the archetype of that zodiac. You know, even reading this is like, wow. And so back to this. So it's contemplation, being alone but not lonely, needing more and seeking more. So the reverse meaning is isolation, paranoia, and foolishness. So the Hermit depicts an old man standing alone at the peak of the mountain while holding a lantern in one of his hands and staff on the other. The mountain denotes accomplishment, development, and success. The Hermit card refers to the level of spiritual knowledge that he attained, and that he is ready to impart that knowledge to everyone. There is also a deep commitment he has and his goal, and a solid awareness of the path that he is taking. Inside the lantern, you will notice a star with 6 points, which is also known as the Seal of Solomon. This symbol represents wisdom. The staff that he holds depicts authority and power. You are currently contemplating that you need to be alone. Never be afraid to take this chance to reflect, as it could help you clear your mind of all the clutter that comes with everyday life. The Hermit may also refer to yourself first in taking action that is authentic and aligned with your true self. You are perhaps searching your inner soul for guidance on what is right and where your next steps are to be. The Hermit's appearance in a reading can also denote the appearance of someone who will come to your life that will be your mentor. And so the Hermit reminds me of you know, going within and spending time alone, not being around people to make a decision. And to me, I always say, I love and I adore and I crave my alone time, because it gives me time to reflect and to contemplate and to really get to know me and to enjoy my company and to learn about new gifts and new talents that I didn't know that I had. And the Hermit, I am really in the Hermit energy a lot. Most of my day is, I'm going to say 7% of my day is in the Hermit energy, where I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. It's just that I'm healing. I'm going through this contemplation time where, have to make some decisions. Some decisions have to be made, and that's just the best time or the best state to be in, when you're getting ready to move forward and reach a new height and level of consciousness. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So in a reading, the Wheel of Fortune is No time is indicated, but it's a lucky sign. So the upright meaning of the Wheel of Fortune is being in touch with your destiny, freedom and adapting to change, moving up in the world, positive change, getting what you want, unexpected outcome in terms of events, feeling a deep connection to people and places, discovering your life purpose and promotion. The reverse meaning is going backwards, lack of progress, and misfortune. The Wheel of Fortune is one of the most highly symbolic cards in your deck, filled with signs that each have its own meaning. At the center of the card lies a giant wheel covered in esoteric symbols. There are different creatures that surround the wheel: the angel, the eagle, the bull, and the lion. They are related to 4 fixed signs in the zodiac: Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and the Aquarius. These 4 animals are also representatives for the 4 evangelists in Christian traditions, which is perhaps the reason that they are all adorned with wings. The books that each of these creatures hold represents the Torah, which communicates wisdom and self-understanding. The snake indicates the act of descending into material world. On the wheel itself rides a sphinx that sits at the top and what appears to be either a devil or Anubis himself answering at the bottom. These 2 Egyptian figures are representative of both the wisdom of the gods and kings in the case of the Sphinx, and the underworld, Anubis. They are rotating forever in a cycle and suggest that as one comes up, the other goes down. Greater forces that are outside of human control are at work here. The same forces that are governing the changing of the seasons or the rising and setting of the sun is also the master of luck and the fate of individuals. Where it lands is as random as chance. You may find yourself at either the top or bottom, but remember that no matter what the outcome, it may not last for very long, for the wheel always turns. And like before, the wheel always turns. Sometimes there's up, sometimes there's down, and it all goes by the wheel. And what you put out will come back. And the next card we have is Justice. And Justice is ruled by Libra. So, and my best friend is a Libra. Shout out to my bestie. And so, so the upright position, my other bestie is a Virgo. His, I think our rising signs are the same. I'm not no, it's not. Our sun sign is the same. He's a Virgo, I'm a Virgo. And tropical in our sidereal, we are both Leos. So shout out to my other bestie. And so the upright meaning is justice, fairness, truth, cause and effect, and law. The reverse meaning is unfairness, lack of accountability, and dishonesty. So the figure of justice sits in the front of a loosely hung purple veil signifying compassion, and between 2 pillars similar to those framing the high priestess and the Hierophant, which symbolize balance, law, and structure. She holds a sword in her right hand, showing the logical, well-ordered mindset necessary to dispense fair justice. The sword points upwards, expressing a firm and final decision, and the double-edged blade signifies that our actions always carry consequences. The scales in her left intuitive hand show intuition must balance that logic and are a symbol of her impartiality. Justice wears a crown with a small square on it representing well-ordered thoughts, and a red robe with a reminder of the spiritual consequences of your actions. So with every action, there is a reaction. With everything that happens, whether you see it as positive or negative, has a reaction. And for people who know better, already know that you can't slip away from this. If you know better, the universe is going to conspire events where that's going to come right back around to you in no time. You ain't gonna have no time to complain, to plan for it. You're not gonna have any time to do anything. It's gonna come right at you head first, because you know better. You know what to put out in the universe, and you know that what you put out is gonna come back. So I don't feel sorry for people who get what they deserve. Don't put it out there and it won't come back. Just as simple as that. And next we have the hangman. So the hangman in readings, the timing is delays. There's no timing available. And it is ruled by the element water and the planet Neptune. So the hangman upright position is pause, surrender, letting go, and new perspectives. The reverse meaning is the delays, resistance, stalling, and indecision. The hangman shows a man suspended from a T-shaped cross made of living wood. He is hanging upside down, viewing the world from a complete different perspective, and his facial expressions is calm and serene, suggesting that he is in his hanging position by his own choice. He has a halo around his head, symbolizing new insight, awareness, and enlightenment. His right foot is bound to the tree, but his left foot remains free, bent at the knee and tucking in behind his right leg. His arms are bent with hands held behind his back, forming an inverted triangle. The man is wearing red pants, representing human passion and the physical body, and a blue vest for knowledge. The hanged man is the card of ultimate surrender, of being suspended in time, and a martyrdom and sacrifice. So the hanged man is seeing everything from a different perspective. Sometimes it doesn't and sometimes when we see things from a different perspective, it's about growth. Sometimes you can say one thing one week and you will have a whole new perspective the next week. It doesn't mean that you're crazy, that you know what you're talking about. It's a different in perspective because of your growth, because of your consciousness. Next, we have death, and death is ruled by Scorpio. So the upright position is, my mom was a Scorpio. Not sure what she was. A tropical was Scorpio. So the sidereal. What's before Scorpio? I'll find out in a minute. Let you guys know. So upright is endings, change, transformation, and transition. The reverse is resistance to change, personal transformation, and inner purging. The death card shows the messenger of death, a skeleton dressed in black armor, riding a white horse. The skeleton represents the part of the body which survives long after life has left it. The armor symbolizes invincibility and that death will come no matter what its dark color. No matter what. Its dark color is that of mourning and the mysterious. While the horse is the color of purity and acts as a symbol of strength and power, death harness a black flag decaved survested with a white 5-petal rose reflecting beauty, purification, and immortality, and the number 5 representing change. Together, these symbols reveal that death isn't just about life ending. Death is about endings and beginnings, birth and rebirth, change and transformation. There is beauty in death, and it is an inherent part of being alive. A royal figure appears to be dead on the ground, while a young woman, child, and bishop plead with the skeletal figure to spare them. But as we all know, death spares no one, and we all are going to have to experience transitioning death, whatever word you want to put in it. We even experience death when we transform now. We transform at so many levels in our lives that we go through birth and rebirth without even knowing it. When you are healing, when you are transforming, when you're becoming someone else, something has to die. Something has to die. It has to. The next card that we have is Temperance, and Temperance is ruled by Sagittarius. The upright meaning is balance, moderation, patience, and purpose. The reverse meaning is imbalance, access, self-healing, and realignment. So the Temperance card shows a large winged angel who is both masculine and feminine. She wears a light blue robe with a triangle enclosed in a square on the front, representing that humans, the triangle, are bound by the earth and natural law. Square, the angel balances between 1 foot on the rocks, expressing the need to stay grounded, and 1 foot in the water, showing the need to be in flow. She pours water between the 2 cups, symbolic of the flow and alchemy of life. In the background, there is a winding path up to a mountain range, reflecting the journey through life. Above the mountains hovers a golden crown encased in a glowing light, a symbol of taking the higher path and staying true to one's life, purpose, and meaning. And the next card is the Devil. The next card is the Devil, and it's ruled by Capricorn. The upright position is shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality. The reverse meaning is releasing limiting beliefs, exploring dark thoughts, and detachment. The Devil card shows the Baphomet, or the horned goat of Mendes, a creature that is half man, half goat. Baphomet originally represented the balance between good and evil, male and female, and human and animal. However, more recently, this figure has been linked to the occult, and he has become a scapegoat for all things considered evil. The Devil has the wings of a vampire bat, an animal that sucks the lifeblood out of its prey. And we also have people that come and suck the life out you. Real human life vampires. We seriously have those. And so, the Devil has the wings of a vampire bat, an animal that sucks the lifeblood out of its prey, symbolic of what happens when you give in to your raw desires. He has a hypnotic stare which magnetizes and entrances those who come near him. The darker side of magic and occulticism. He raises his right hand in the Vulcan salute and Jewish blessing, later made famous by the film series Star Trek. In his left hand, he holds a lit torch. At the foot of the Devil stand a man and a woman, both naked and chained to the podium on which the Devil sits. They appear to be held here against their will, but look closer and you will notice that the chains around their necks are loose and could be easily removed. Each has small horns on their head, like the Devil's, a sign that they are becoming increasingly like him the longer they stay here. Both have tails, a further symbol of their animalistic tendencies and raw instincts, and the grapes and the fire on their respective tails signify pleasure and lust. The next card is the Tower, And the tower in the reading could come up the timing is unexpectedly and unavoidable with force. And the Tower card is ruled by the planet Mars. So the upright position is sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelations, and awakening. The reverse meaning is personal transformation, fear of change, and averting disaster. So most people really don't like to see the tarot card in their reading because the look of the card, it just is the symbolic look of the card is a building with fire coming out of the windows, and it looked like the building is getting ready to tip over. But like I said, it can be for personal transportation. Something getting ready to be destroyed, just so something new can come along. Something like, well, this is for everything. Everything has to be destroyed. Any and everything has to be destroyed for you to create something fresh and brand new, starting with a firm and sturdy foundation. You have to start everything from a strong, sturdy foundation. If not, it's gonna crumble. It's never ever going to work out unless your foundation is sturdy. Just like a house, if you don't build that house on a sturdy foundation, whenever the wind blows, whenever problems come, that damn house is going to be knocked down to the ground. So it's very important to always build all relationships with a sturdy foundation, trustworthy, loyalty, things like that. So let's go into the card meaning. The tower shows a tall tower perched on the top of a rocky mountain. Lightning strikes set the building alight, and two people leap from the windows, head first and arms outstretched. It is a scene of chaos and destruction. The tower itself is a solid structure, but because it has been built on shaky foundations, it only takes one bit of lightning to bring it down. It represents ambitions and goals made on false premises. The lightning represents a sudden surge of energy and insight that leads to a breakthrough or revelation. It enters via the top of the building and knocks off the crown, symbolizing energies flowing down from the universe through the crown chakra. The people are desperate to escape from the burning building, not knowing what awaits them as they fall. Around them are 22 flames, representing the 12 signs of the zodiac and the 10 points of the tree of life, suggesting that even in time of disaster, there is always divine intervention. The next card we have is the Star, a favorite beautiful card, and it is ruled by Aquarius. So the upright meaning is hope, faith, purpose, renewal, and spirituality. The reverse meaning is lack of faith, despair, self-trust, and disconnection. The Star card shows a naked woman kneeling at the edge of a small pool. She holds 2 containers of water, one in her left hand, the subconscious, and one in her right, the conscious. She pours the water out to nourish the earth and to continue the cycle of fertility, represented by the lush greenery around her. The other container pours the water into dry land and 5 rivulets, representing the 5 senses. The woman has 1 foot on the ground, representing her practical abilities and good common sense, and the other foot in the water, representing her intuition and inner resources and listening to her inner voice. She is naked, representing her vulnerability and purity under the vastness of the starry night sky. Behind her shines one large star, representing her core essence, and serene smaller stars, representing the chakras. Next card is the Moon, and the Moon is ruled by Pisces. You would think the Moon card would be ruled by the Moon, but the Moon upright position, upright meaning is unconscious, illusions, and intuition. The reverse meaning is confusion, fear, and misinterpretation. So when we encounter the moon, we see a path that leads off into the distance. On either side of the path stand a wolf and a dog, representing our animalistic nature. One is civilized and the other wild and feral. This is a crawfish that is crawling out of the pond from which the path steams from. In the distance, we can see two towers flanking the central path, once again alluding to the doubles visible. Everything in this card seems to echo the other, as if to allude to two possibilities. When we walk down the path, we walk the fine line between consciousness and unconsciousness, between the tame side of civilization and the dog, and the forces of nature, represented by the wolf. The towers on the opposing ends represent the forces of good and evil, and their similarity in appearance can allude to the difficulties that we face in distinguishing between them. The upright, the moon symbolize your imagination and taking the best of you. In the dark of the night, you are taking a path you are unsure of, for there could be danger lurking in its depths. You are the crawfish embarking on the path. The moon's light can bring you clarity and understanding, and you should allow your intuition to guide you through this darkness. You need to be aware of the situations that are causing fear and anxiety in your mind, whether it is now or in the future. It alerts you not to allow inner disturbances and self-deception to take the best of you. These deep memories and fears must be let go, and the negative energies must be released and turned into something constructive. Existence of illusion, sudden hidden truth must be discovered for what you are seeing. How may be a trick of the light. You must search for the hidden forces that must be unraveled. So the reverse is a moon reversal can indicate that the darker and more negative aspects of the moon are present in your life. It could represent confusion and unhappiness. You want to make progress, but you are not sure what it is the right thing to do. You must deal with your anxiety and fears by overcoming them, for they are like shadows in the dark. It is time to believe in yourself and move forward. I think that's all we have for the moon. I think I wrote something extra for this because it was again another one of my favorite cards, and it's just like a broader range for this moon card, but it's a beautiful card just like all the rest of them. And another one of my favorite cards is the sun. And so I actually have the sun card hanging in my room. It's such a beautiful card, even to wake up and look at it every day. You have the big, beautiful, bright sun with all of its rays poking out. Then you have the mountains directly up under the sun. Then you have the beautiful butterfly and all the beautiful flowers. And the butterfly represents transformation, and the sunflowers just represents happiness and joy and peace. And that's just why I love this card. So the sun card is ruled by the sun, of course, and the timing for the sun card can be daytime or summer. The upright meaning is joy, success, celebration, and positivity. The reverse meaning is negativity, depression, and sadness. The sun card represents a feeling of optimism and fulfillment. The dawn, which follows the darkness of nights. The sun is the source of all the life on our planet, and it represents life energy itself. There is a child depicted in the card playing joyfully in the foreground, a symbol of our innocence. It represents the happiness that occurs when you are in alignment with your true self. The child is naked, meaning that he has absolutely nothing to hide. It also depicts the childhood innocence and absolute purity. This is particularly emphasized through the white horse upon which the child is riding. The horse here is also a symbol of strength and nobility. So the upright meaning represents success, abundance, and radiance like the sun itself. It gives strength and vitality to all those that are lucky enough to feel its rays. There is much joy and happiness that is coming to you because of your personal fulfillment. You provide others with inspiration and joy as well. People are drawn to you because they are capable of seeing the warm and beautiful energy which you bring into their lives. You are also in a position when you are capable of sharing your qualities as well as achievements with other people. You radiate love and affection towards those you care about the most. Shows you have significant sense of deserved confidence right now. Life is currently particularly good and the sun is shining your way as you reach the goals that you set. The sun is one of the cards in the tarot and provide nothing but good feelings and fulfillment. That's why this is everybody's favorite card, and this is why this is my favorite card. But the reverse meaning is the sun indicates that you might have significant difficulties finding positive aspects to certain situations. The clouds might be blocking out the warmth and light that you need to progress. This might be preventing you from feeling confident and powerful. You may experience certain setbacks which are damaging your optimism and enthusiasm. Might also indicate that you are being unrealistic. It might be a sign that you have an overly optimistic perception of certain situations. These are things that you need to take into account in order to ensure that you are on the right track and your successes continue as they do. And it's just funny how when you look at these cards and the meaning of these cards and you look at the pictures, it's like that's exactly like the symbolic of the pictures is explaining exactly what the card says, but in pictorial form. And that's how I learned from pictorial. Like I've been here I've been staying in Jacksonville my entire life, and like there's some things I just don't know what it is unless I have a photographic memory, but a pictorial memory, like a image memory, where I can see certain buildings and see like where I'm going. But as far as the street names, like I would not know the street names, but I would remember what I've seen and what's around the area that I'm trying to reach. And that's just how the tarot cards are. The tarot cards will give you a picture of what's going on in your life, and the picture says 1,000 words. The next card we have is Judgment, and the timing for Judgment is no timing available and two outcomes are as likely as each other. Judgment is ruled by the element fire and the planet Pluto. The upright position meaning is reflection, reckoning, and awakening. The reverse meaning is no self-awareness, doubt, and self-loathing. So the card shows women, men, and children who are rising from the grave to respond to Gabriel's trumpet call. That's my baby's name. Their outstretched arms symbolize that they are ready to be judged by the universe. They are about to meet their creator. Their actions weighed and find out where they will spend the remainder of eternity in heaven or hell. The massive tidal wave in the background signifies that judgment is unavoidable and that this judgment will be final. Judgment is unavoidable. The judgment will be final. Judgment is ruled by Pluto, who is the underworld's ruler. There are echoes of this card, death, for they both remind us that everything comes to an end and that a new beginning is coming. So another upright meaning is focuses on the moment when we reflect and evaluate ourselves and our actions. It is through self-reflection that we can have a clear and objective understanding about where we are now and what we need to do in order to grow as humans. The Judgment card appearing in a reading signifies that you are coming close to the significant point in your life where you must start to evaluate yourself. You are in a period of awakening brought on by the act of self-reflection. You have a clear idea of what you need to change and how you need to be true to yourself and your needs. This can mean making small changes to your daily life or making huge changes that not only affect you but the people close to you. It reminds us that we all will be faced with choices that will have an astounding effect for your entire life. The card brings to mind moments where actions you have taken have changed the course of your path for good. There may have been a moment where there is no looking back. The consequences of those actions eventually will catch up with you. This card indicates that this is the time you may have to let go of the past so you can move forward with your plans to have a new life. So another reverse meaning is you doubt and judge yourself too harshly. This could be causing you to miss opportunities that were awaiting you. The last momentum causes you to fall behind in your plans, which can make it difficult to move forward. This means you should be cautious, but you should be moving forward with pride and confidence. Can be a push to take time out of your busy routine to reflect upon your life. To this point and what you have learned so far, you are most likely not giving yourself time or space to fully think about the matter and learn the lessons you need to be able to progress with awareness. You could also be too critical of your past actions, so you are not giving yourself the forgiveness to move forward. The mistakes that we have made in the past are learning tools, so they help us move through life. Focusing too hard on these mistakes can cause up to trip and fall. And this is just a card that teaches us that whenever you make a decision, that whatever decision that you make not only affects you, but it really affects the people that are around you. And this is the last card of the Major Arcana, the World card, which is also one of my favorite cards. So the timing in the World card is winter. Delays and trials are likely, and it is ruled by the planet Saturn. And the upright position is fulfillment, harmony, completion. Like completion of the cycle. You can see that when you look at the World card, it has a wreath that's all around like a circle. And so the reverse meaning is incompletion, no closure, and emptiness. And so the World card in the deck has a dancing figure at the center. The dancing figure has one leg crossed over. The other holds a wand in either hand. She symbolizes balance and evolution in a moment. The fulfillment and unity that she represents is not one that is stagnant, but ever-changing, dynamic, and eternal. The green wreath of flowers that surrounds the central figure is a symbol of success, while the red ribbons that wrap around it are reminiscent of infinity. There are 4 figures on each corner of the card, and they are the same ones that are in the Wheel of Fortune. The 4 figures represent Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, representative of the 4 corners of the universe, the 4 elements, and the 4 evangelists. Together they symbolize the harmony between all of their energies. And so one of the upright meanings is to encounter the world, is to encounter a great unity and wholeness. It symbolizes the movement when the inner and the outer worlds, outer, become a single entity. There is a recognition that the individual self is profoundly linked with all other things, and that we all dance and sway along the flow of life to one rhythm. Not only do you hear this rhythm, but you participate in it, following dips and the rises, the joys and the sorrows. The meaning of the card is fulfillment, achievement, and completion. This shows that all the efforts that you have been putting in place is starting to pay off. It reflects that you have completed a major milestone in your life, and you have built the resilience to withstand challenges. The world may indicate completion of a long-term project, study, or any other major event in your life. It may also mean the birth of a child, marriage, graduation, or any other thing that you have accomplished. The World card shows that you have a desire to give back to the community in various ways. You have a commitment to make the world a better place because you understand that everything is connected. So the reverse meaning is you are drawing near to something that marks the end of a journey or an era. You have many accomplishments that have lined your path, but there is a strange emptiness that fills you when you look backwards upon it, as if you have all the pieces, but they are not coming together. What is missing? Do you feel connected to what you are doing? Do you feel connected to others? What alienates you from feeling complete, from feeling whole. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed the card and their meanings. And I just wanted to let you all know that just because you may seek divination, whether it through tarot cards, whether it's through scrying, card shells, ruins, whatever crystals, whatever way you seek divination, just know that these things are not set in stone. It's just to give you an overview of what's coming or what's going to happen if you don't change your energy, or if you don't think about this specific situation, or if you don't think through whatever it is that you're going through. There's just like blueprints or something of things that could possibly happen. But in all is up to you. It's up to you. This is just a peek through the window of what could happen. Don't ever think that these things are set in stone and that you have to do, what the card says. Or whenever you do get a reading, just take what resonates, and the rest else you can leave on the side. And of course, I really appreciate you all for taking the time out to listen and to study with me and to learn with me. Hope that everyone is doing their healing. Hope you're surrounded by people who are loving you and taking care of you, and that is sending you positive energy. I'm sending you loving energy, healing energy. Everybody needs to do your work. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for listening. And until next time, my gods and goddesses.